The Pacific trial was a randomized phase 3 trial for patients who had unresectable stage 3 lung cancer who were treated with concurrent chemoradiation without specification on which chemotherapy regimen. And then for those who were not progressing after completing the chemo and radiation, they were randomized 2-to-1 to receive either durvalumab or a placebo. And the study showed that the patients who ended up getting the durvalumab had a significant improvement in progression-free survival. We don't yet have overall survival data, but the assumption would be that that would follow the PFS, as it often does in studies. The PFS for the patients getting the durvalumab was in excess of 16 months, and for those getting the placebo, it was less than 6 months. One of the criticisms of the trial is that the placebo group did seem to underperform historical controls, and there are a lot of questions around that, some of which are around the high numbers who had weekly carboplatin paclitaxel without any consolidation carboplatin paclitaxel, but we don't really know the answers. A couple of nuanced points from the trial is the fact that they did include patients who had EGFR and ALK, either EGFR mutation or ALK translocation. The numbers were fairly small, but that group did not seem to not derive benefit, so they did derive benefit, maybe not quite as much as some of the other subgroups, but they did. There also did not seem to be a difference based on which of the chemotherapy regimens were utilized, but there's still more questions to be asked. However, with that trial result, the US FDA did approve durvalumab in this setting for patients who have completed chemoradiation and have not progressed are then randomized to get their durvalumab. One of the things that was looked at is how long can you wait? And the answer is really, I think, as soon as you can start the durvalumab, as soon as the patient's recovered sufficiently, it's time to go ahead and start, and it's an every 2-week regimen, up to 1 year of therapy. One of the big concerns everyone had before the trial results came out was around toxicity, especially around the potential for pneumonitis, inflammation in the lung. It turned out that those rates were relatively low and not significantly different between the patients getting placebo and those who got their durvalumab. There were some risk of autoimmunity or immune-related adverse events, but again, relatively low. So we do feel that this is a fairly safe approach. With the Pacific trial, there were a lot of questions about different subgroups and whether there were any that weren't going to benefit. At least from the data as it was presented, there didn't really seem to be any group that wasn't benefiting. Those with EGFR mutations perhaps benefiting less, but still benefiting. Also, those with the highest PD-L1 level did seem to be benefiting a bit more. And again, it's all PFS. We don't yet know overall survival. So those with the highest levels did seem to have more of a PFS, but even those with low or no PD-L1 expression did seem to benefit as well.